Lifts. I'm getting ready to go live, and that's that. So it is recording. So hello, darling. Hi, Olivia. Hi, everybody out there. Hope all's going well in your world. Oh, cheer up, Peanut. You look so sad. So I hope everything's going. I feel like Mum. I hope all's going well out there in Blabland and in whatever world you're in. Well, my name is Dr. Wendy Dearborn. I am a choice expert, and I am a coach, and I assist people in utilizing the power of their conscious choice to create the life that they want to live. That's what I do. I'm also a die-hard believer in utilizing the universal laws of attraction and utilizing them properly so that you can continuously, create the life that you want to live. You're right, love.
Yes, fine. Thank you. Thanks for asking.
So that you can create the life that you want to live. But anyway, my name is Dr. Wendy Dearborn. My co-host here is Olivia Lashley, and she's in London, and I am in Las Vegas. So that being said, guys, welcome. We haven't actually given our show, what are we going to call this? My Life, My Choice? What? Blab? What are we going to call this? I don't even know what we're going to call this. Do you know
what? I actually looked at the title to see what title you had given it. It's kind of like non-plus, really. I don't know what you're going to call it.
It's a bit generic, but anyway, I figured I'll get to that when I get to that. So that being said, one of the reasons why I'm actually doing this particular blab is that people from Instagram, people from Facebook, and thereabouts, they had asked me questions about the laws of attraction, and actually, that's not entirely true. I had put out, do you have any unanswered questions about using the laws of attraction? Do you need a tiny bit of clarity on one or two things? And to that I said, sort of like post your questions, and people posted questions and people emailed me, etc. So what I did was, some of the questions, because they were the same, I kind of, brought them all together, and others were a little bit more specific. So I just want to get started with this. I keep getting asked this question. Can we, Olivia as well, explain the law of attraction? Well, it's really important, guys, to understand that it is not the law of attraction. It's the laws of attraction. The law of attraction is all the laws that come under that umbrella. Okay, so it's really important to understand that. Many people assume it's the law, and they feel that it's like these three little laws that they have to use in order to get what they want, or that they are using to get what they want, and they're not getting the results that they want. So they feel that they use the law of visualization. They feel they use the law of gratitude, which is huge. And they use the law of what we got, visualization, gratitude, and I'm missing one. There's three that are affirmations. There you go. The universal law of affirmations. And people feel that they can use just these three laws to get what they want. The name of the game is, many people are not getting what they want from utilizing the universal law of attraction in that way. And why they're not getting what they want is because it's the universal laws, plural, laws, plural. There are so many laws that we need to be aware of so that we can use them as part of our, what did you say the other day on the radio show? Our recipe, our personalized recipe for utilizing the laws of attraction, so that we can do this on a consistent basis, because there's nothing worse than things being hit and miss. Wouldn't you agree, Livs?
Absolutely.
There's nothing worse than things being hit and miss. And so therefore it's really important to be able to utilize the laws in a consistent way. And in order to utilize the laws in a consistent way, It means that you have to know what it is that you're doing. It means that you need to know what the laws are that are out there. And so basically what I will be doing moving forward from here is really delving deeply into the laws. You can definitely join us on the radio show, because we have a radio show later today in a couple of hours. And in the radio show, we've been talking in depth about the universal laws of attraction. And this is where I have been led, and this is actually where I am going. One of the things about that is that I do lots of things, and I've been doing so many things, but it's always bringing me back to this point, and it's the point of the laws of attraction. Well, somebody had asked in the Facebook group, same name, Laws of Attraction in Action, that's the name of the group. Can I explain the universal laws? Well, again, guys, just to reiterate, it is the universal laws. It's not the law. The law is the governing body. Each law of attraction has a specific thing that it will assist and support you in doing. That's each of the laws. And there are many, many laws. Each one has a vibrational frequency that it is attuned to. And that frequency is attuned to you. I think it's also really important that people at least think about it, try it on, do your own due diligence. But I think it's really important to realize that the laws of attraction, they act as a catalyst, or they act as a conduit. They act as a channel for what you are thinking and what you are saying that you want. The laws of attraction don't actually create that which you've said that you wanted. The laws of attraction take what you are thinking, take what you are asking to the point of creation. That is their job. That's the law of attraction's job, or the laws of attraction. That is their job, to take the information to the point of creation, so that which you have said that you wanted with passion and belief can be created for you. So the laws of attraction are out there to support you in creating the life that you say that you want to live. That's what it's there for. That's what they do. That's their function. The laws of attraction will not work for you without you invoking and or initiating first. They won't work for you. You have to initiate. It's like flipping on a light switch. In order for you to have electricity, you need to put the switch on. And it's the same thing with the law of attraction. In order to utilize them, you have to put the switch on. And guys, if you don't actually select the right law for the right thing, what will happen is you may not get what you want, because you're not using it in the correct way.
You were saying about the light switch, you have to recognize it's the power source in the first place. You have to recognize that you have electricity to be able to know, okay, well, if I turn the light switch on, that it's going to work. So
that's a fact.
It's recognizing that you are part of the whole. Your vibration, the vibration that you put out there, as you were saying, Wendy, it's part of the universal laws. Use that to create what it is that you are saying that you want. If your frequency or your vibration is very, steady, and then that's what you get back. If it's all erratic and what have you, that's what you get back. But most people, it's the clarity. They haven't actually sat down and have a clear directive as to what it is they really want, which is why they tend to get things back. They tend to get things back that they do not, not in the way that they perceived they would have it, because there's many ways it comes back. And invariably, if you actually sit down and look at what's going on, you'll find that you are getting it back, but just not in the way that you perceived. And it can be in a chaotic way, but it is coming back to you.
And you say that clarity, for me, clarity is key. Clarity is up there with choice, clarity is key. If you're not clear, as you said, Olivia, and I totally agree, if you're not clear on what it is that you are wanting, it makes it very, very challenging. It's a challenge to, even for you, to put it out there. But people will put stuff out there that's not clear and have an expectation of what should come back. But the only thing that, as you said, Olivia, can come back on that frequency is how you've put stuff out there. So it's vitally important that you are clear. In regard to the laws of attraction, some of the laws, I had done a tutorial on this, and I had used the saran wrap to show that some of the, or cling film, to show that some of the laws are really malleable. They'll bend and they'll mold to who you are, because we are all individuals. So they'll bend and they'll mold around you. That being said, there are some laws. There are a few laws that, while they are malleable, they are resolute. And the first law in the law of attraction is choice. That's the first law in the law of attraction. Like you were saying, Olivia, you know, if you have a light switch, you need to know that there is electricity behind it. That's like the choice. You flip the switch. It's the choice.
Also, the choice is to connect to the grid, to pay your bill. Those are all choices. And those are all sort of like derivatives of different parts of the laws of
the
attraction.
whole, yes, yeah. That being said, choice is the first universal law of attraction. Choice is the first law of anything. If you don't make a choice, and not making a choice is a choice too. If you don't make a choice, nothing's going to happen. Absolutely nothing is going to happen. So choice is the first law of the universal laws of attraction. And it's an all-empowering one. It's an all-encompassing one. Again, if you don't make a choice, which is why I do what I do as a choice expert, I think it's a lot easier if you are able to make a choice for self rather than not making a choice, and as a result of that, be dragged through life.
I mean, if you don't make a choice for self, then, as we always say, someone else is going to make a choice.
Make a choice for you.
Funny, today I was thinking about, I know you have this program over there, The Apprentice, with Donald Trump.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's not the one I'm talking about. The one over here, you have it with Alan Sugar. Sorry, he's a Sir Alan Sugar now. And I was thinking today, okay, he's a self-made millionaire, billionaire, whatever he is. Now, what he does is he has people come along who want to be like him, want to be millionaires, billionaires, or whatever, and he's like the puppet master. You know,
yes.
These people are like his marionettes, you know, just doing what they have to do. You know, there's backbiting and I just thought, in actual fact, the whole process is very self-serving for him. It's actually, for me, borders on being actually sadistic. What's the word? Sadistic. Yeah. Because and that's a perfect example of, if you're not using your energy for what you want to do, somebody else will use it. Because he gives these people what I think it's over here it's £250,000 to do what they're. But when you think about how much he's getting for the show and all the rest of it, he's actually not really giving them anything at all. So they dance into this puppet master's tune. They make the choice to dance to this puppet master's tune, and really, I mean, if they are of a mind to be there, they can actually do it for themselves. They don't need to be to do it through him at all, not at all.
Which is really, really, really important. Again, for me, it's huge that you make choices for yourself in the best interest of self. it's huge that you have clarity surrounding the choices that you make. Again, if you're not clear on the choices that you make, what you will get in your life is that which you have put out. So yeah, you speak about people being somebody's marionette and all this jazz, or being controlled, and not even realizing, it's the little things out there that tell you in your macrosphere where you are in the rhythm of your life. Apple, God bless them, very innovative company. Woohoo, they've done much for communication. And you have Apple, and Apple bring out, the iPhone 6 Plus. And I always say this on the show when I lecture, I always say this, okay, they've done this, and everybody's running to get this, but did you really use all of the little apps and everything that came with the iPhone 4? Outside of texting, films and, videos, did you really use it to its fullest capacity? Well, I would say that the majority of the people out there don't, yet still they're buying into, you need an iPhone 6 Plus. Why? One of the reasons I believe why is because your energy isn't where it needs to be. Your energy needs to be focused on you and what you are wanting for your life. When your energy isn't focused, when your energy isn't focused on you and you're looking externally for all this stuff, people can tap into the emotional self and tell you what it is that you need for you. You don't need an iPhone 6 Plus. What were you going to say, darling?
You kind of said what I was going to say, which was that go into the external world to sort of corroborate who you are and validate your place within your own reality. But I think what people miss is it is your own reality. It actually doesn't belong to anyone else. It belongs to you. So therefore, you actually don't need to dance to someone else's tune unless you choose to. But if you're doing it, then you have to realize that whatever they put forward or don't put forward or say about you or don't say about you, you've actually said that's okay. Unless you make the choice to actually just have nothing to do with it, to realize that you can function perfectly well without being in that environment or having that phone or, being on a show. The bottom line is, as I said before, and you said also, Wendy, if you don't use your energy, someone else is actually going to use your energy to get what they want. They're not going to use it. You're going to give it to them. They're going to phrase it to you in such a way that you give it to them freely so they can achieve what it is that they want.
Of course. And it's really important, I think, that people be aware of this. This, for me, is why the power of choice is all-consuming. The power of choice, and again, whether you choose or not, is up to you. That in itself is a choice. You don't get a hall pass or a get out of jail free card because you didn't make the choice. And many people, they find this very, very difficult to understand. In talking with women who have been displaced, they're in a shelter, etc., etc. This is one of the things that I say to them, that, everything that you have done, everything that you have chosen has brought you to this point today. Doesn't make it good, doesn't make it bad. Thinking makes it good or bad. What it does show you is how powerful you are because of the choices that you have made. And so therefore, for me, it's always about moving forward, going forward, choosing your destiny. You cannot go back into your history and recreate anything, actually. You can only create. And so therefore, it's about moving forward to your destiny. And the only way you can move forward to your destiny with control or with conscious awareness, if that feels better, is through exercising your divine right to choose for self. And it is your divine right to choose for self. Nobody else has to choose anything for you. If you allow somebody to choose something for you, if you allow somebody to exercise that right over you, This is a choice. Using the universal laws of attraction is something that we do every day. Every day, through our words, through our thoughts, through our deeds, every day we use the universal laws of attraction. And I believe that many people are unaware of the fact that by the sheer fact that you think, the sheer fact that your thoughts turn into affirmations, I get the impression from what I am hearing out there and what I'm seeing, what I've researched, that people don't actually realize that you are creating laws. Every time you say something, especially with passion and belief, especially if you're saying this stuff and you're heated, and you are creating universal laws with everything that you do. Mm. You are invoking the laws to work on your behalf, to send a frequency out there with everything that you do. This is understanding how the universal laws of action, or the universal laws of attraction, work. And that's why you may say to yourself, you might be thinking this thing and XYZ happens. Well, this over here is happening to you because you aren't cognizant of the thoughts that you are having. You're not cognizant of the dialogue that you're having. You're not cognizant of the actions that you are taking based on the thoughts and the dialogue that you have had. And these thoughts, dialogues, and actions that you take, they invoke the universal laws on your behalf to do what it is that your thoughts, words, and deeds have said and have done. And so it's really important. You see, one of the most important things that you have to do, and the hardest work that you have to do, is to think the thoughts that you want to come into manifestation. That is the hardest work that you have to do. And it really is. Keeping mental clarity, that's the hardest work that you have to do. But once you master that, and you can do this through meditation, the first thing is you have to choose it anyway. And then from there, you make different choices as to what it is that you want to do for you. Very, very, very extremely important. So if there's anything that you, okay.
I think that also it's really imperative that people realize that even though a lot of the universal laws may be, as you say, immutable, there's still an element of control. You know, mm-hmm. you have control over. It may not change changing what they do. It really can't. There's nothing you can do about that. If it's a universal law of love, it's love. You know, if it's about silence, it's silent. It's about silence.
But it's how you show up in it.
Their function, you can't control. But how they work for you, you can control. Mm-hmm. You're in complete control of that. And I think a lot of people think they aren't. You know, as I said before, your frequency, you know, the way you resonate is what actually, you know, you put out. Attaches to wherever it is it needs to be, and then it comes back to you in whatever way, shape, or form.
And that's important. That's important because, as you said, the laws are immutable. As I said in the tutorial, they're immutable. Like saran wrap is saran wrap, but yet still it will mold around you. And I use that as the analogy. But it's still saran wrap. It can do all this sort of stuff, you know, but it's still saran wrap. And saran wrap is going to do what saran wrap does best. However, you get to mold it. And that's actually a really good point, Olivia, because I think a lot of people don't realize that. And back to the point that I had just made, a lot of people don't realize that they are invoking the universal laws with every thought, word, action, and deed. Yes. I think a lot of people think that, you know, you have to say, okay, I am going to be in gratitude, and that law has been invoked. Well, when you were a little ticked off and not being very grateful because XYZ, you missed the train, you missed the bus, the car had a flat tire, when you weren't being so grateful for the fact that you did have a car, and whether you missed the bus, the train, or you had a flat tire, it might have been to the highest good of all. Had you might not needed to have been on the road. You might not have been needing to fly. And so it's really important that when you go ahead.
No, I was going to say, at the time when things happen, sometimes it's really hard to say, okay, well, I acknowledge, the gratitude that I feel and what have you. But I think when you take a step back, days, 2 days, 3 days, when you take a step back, you can actually always put you can reframe it, to think of, okay, well, if this didn't happen, what could have happened? I mean, you don't know what could have happened, but it's just a reframe for you to actually get into the swing of sort of like feeling grateful for actually what happened. And the thing about feeling grateful for what happened, I mean, sometimes this is a bit of an emotive thing to say, but whatever happened, you were part of it. And you can't be part of something. You can actually be the whole of something.
Yeah.
So if something happened to you, then it's like, well, how do I say this, Wens? It's like, well, in many ways, for the first and foremost, it's showing you something. In many ways, it can be orchestrated in such a way. You can have orchestrated it in such a way that it's to show you something to your high, for your highest good, for your potential, so that you can actually move forward in your life. Lessons can be really hard. They can be really, really, really hard. But when you do your reframe, it's to actually see how it can propel you forward, not hold you back. Because if it holds you back, everything you've gone through, I wouldn't say it's a waste per se, because there's always the potential at some point in the future that you'll come back and say, okay, well, that's what that was about. Okay, I get that now. But if you can do it then and there, or, however long you need to get over it before you can do that, you've learned something about yourself. You've evolved. Yeah, you've moved forward.
See, when using the laws of attraction, as Olivia said, everything isn't always going to be warm and fuzzy. And everything's not always warm and fuzzy, because that's the nature of life. Sometimes things need to be explosive in order for you to get your attention, for you to move in a certain direction, blah, 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 blah. It needs to be explosive.
Sorry, go on.
Go ahead, Livs.
No, I was going to say, sometimes, you use the word explosive, and what actually came to me when you said that was, when you think of how atoms react within an explosion, maybe that's the whole point, because it changes the frequency of everything.
It does. And when your frequency changes, you move. You'll move in a certain direction, or you'll have choices that are open to you that weren't open to you before. So you'll move in a specific direction. So that being said, the laws of attraction, people will just feel that they can invoke, say, I use the law of gratitude, or using the law of affirmation, and not realize that the things that they had said in regard to affirmations, that's the universal law of your word. And not realizing that things that they had been saying, the conversations that they have had in the past, or recently, or in this moment, is impacting how the manifestation will come back, and or not. Many people say that utilizing the laws of attraction as it has been taught isn't working for them. People are like, oh, this doesn't work. No, it works. And it's working because it's showing you that there's something else that you need to address. There's something else that you need to do. So it's showing you that it is working. Where the lack comes is that people don't actually have the information to know that there are other things that you need to do. You may be giving gratitude all live long day for everything that you have, yet still you cannot find the wherewithal to forgive your ex, you know, or to forgive, you know, the teacher, or to forgive. You might not have the wherewithal or find that within you to forgive. And this might be the thing that may be holding up your demonstration or your manifestation. It's all about balance. Everything in the universe is about balance. This is why you have day. This is why you have night. This is why you have light. This is why you have dark, wet, dry, hot, cold. Wherever you go, you'll find a balance, male and female, and each is equal in its energy and its power. Where it comes into play is how you choose to use that. You have the polar opposites. Without having the polar opposites, you don't have anything. And that's not how the universe works. That's not how the universe is set up. Not at all. So the laws of attraction work within these polarized systems, or these polarized opposites, or whatever phrase you want to use. This is how they work. You are the person who is in control of how the laws will work for you. You are in control. So in regards to, somebody did ask, can you explain the universal laws? Well, that was a huge question. So for me, I would need you to define it a little bit more. What is it that you were wanting to know? Because there's so much about this. And the universal laws are really quite simple. They're powerful. They're atomic, but they're simple. They're simple. Let's see here. What am I doing wrong? Jennifer. Okay. Somebody had said to me, if you attract those things that you think you want, and circumstances don't allow the follow through. Here we go. I recently said that I wanted a well-educated man, among other things. I met a great guy, but he was unfaithful. I wanted to go into philanthropic work, and a class came up. The class came up, I wanted to do the class, and I then had to have surgery, which meant that I was unable to work. I was off for a month, and money became tight. She goes on to ask, does this mean that it's just not my destiny, or it's not my time? So basically, I'm understanding that J. Mac's question is this. What if you attract those things that you think that you want, and circumstances don't allow the follow through? She said that she wanted an educated man. She wanted an educated man. Well, she got this great guy, but he was unfaithful. Okay, he was unfaithful. She wants to go into philanthropic work and make change in the world. And as I do know her personally, I know this is where she wants to go. That being said, the class came up, but she had to have a surgery. And as a result, because she has her own company, her own business, and she's a one-man operation, she had to take a month off to recover. And of course, money was tight. So does this mean, her ultimate question is, does this mean it's not her destiny, or it's not time? What this actually tells me is that, yes, you want somebody who's educated. However, I don't believe that you have given it its full thought in clarity. What are you wanting from this educated man? What are you wanting to experience? What value will this educated man bring to your life? What value, what benefits do you expect to receive from this? And above all, how is it going to make you feel? How is it going to make you feel having this educated man in your life? For the clarity, if you are, and I'll phrase it this way, ladies, for clarity, if you're wanting to bring a man into your life, then again, you're going to have to do the mental work. Okay, so you want him to be educated. What else are you wanting in your life, in a relationship? You see, you have to have that dialogue with yourself. What else do you want within a relationship? So he's educated. What else are you wanting? Do you want him to be wealthy? Do you want him to have a job? Do you want him to be 6 foot? Do you want him to be cut? What else are you wanting? And you see, this is the key. When you're using the universal laws of attraction, you have to be specific. You have to be specific. Yes, the laws are malleable. Yes, they can bend and will bend for you. But the universal law is specific in what it is designed to do. So for this one, what I would say is, J-Mac, that you need to do a little bit more work as to what else you are wanting. Because we now know that you want him to be educated and you want him to be faithful. In regard to doing your philanthropic work, and the class came up, and you having surgery and money becoming tight, again, it's about looking within and saying, one thing I would say, am I worthy of doing this class? Am I really worthy of doing this class? And I say this because I know you. Am I worthy of doing this class? Is this something that you are truly wanting to do in studying or in doing a philanthropist course or whatever it is? Is this really what you are wanting to do? And is it ultimately necessary for you to go that route? You see, whenever anything comes back down the pike, like everything that has happened to you in this short space of time, it's very important to, and I'll phrase it this way, feel every emotion that you feel. Feel every emotion that you can feel. Don't squish your emotions. If you're mad, be mad. If you're pissed, be pissed. If you're glad, be glad. Feel it. But as Olivia said a little while ago, once all of that has gone past and you've done all of that, take a step back. Take a step back and say, okay, what is this really showing me? What is this showing me? So in answer to your question, does this mean that it's not your destiny? No. Does it mean that it's not time? No. What it tells me is that the work that needs to be done hasn't been done. The work that needs to be done. Is there anything that you'd like to add to that, Livs?
Yeah. You know, one of the things about having a guy that's faithful, that is educated, it would be interesting to know what his education, not yours, his education actually brings to your reality.
Yes. Yeah.
What's the point of him being not? I don't mean that in a disrespectful way, but what's the point of his education in regard to you?
Yeah.
Is there anything in his education that he has that you can't do for yourself?
Yes.
So is education something that is actually a high priority? The other thing that I found interesting was that when then obviously the guy was unfaithful, and the two other things were doing this course and then having to have surgery. It's in a sort of like, not really, but I'm going to say sort of like in a sort of like spacey way. In many ways, you could say your body was unfaithful to you at that point because it prevented you from doing what you wanted to do. Okay, you wanted to do this philanthropic course, but at that moment in time, you actually didn't even have the money to sort out doing the course for yourself. Once again, I think there's something about faithfulness, to yourself, that is something you actually may want to look at. How faithful, how trusting, how much in love you are with yourself. That's what I would say.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and actually, that's a really good point. That's actually a very, very, very good point, Livs. That's a really good point. The second question, and this is from Self-Loving Foods. If I'm swimming in the feel-good pond,
I like that saying.
If I'm swimming in the feel-good pond and taking inspired action, but some old fears come up as I start to get, as things start to get awesome, do I cancel out the positive things I truly desire? So the question is this: when everything's going right and these old fears come up, will it cancel out whatever it is that she's doing and the good things that are happening for her? And so for me, what did you want to answer that first?
Well, I would say that the fact that she's asking that question, she's already decided that they do. Otherwise, she wouldn't have answered the question. So for me, once again, it's about reframing to say, okay, whatever thoughts you're having, I'm a firm believer of we send ourselves messages. So if you have a thought that's always coming round, is, not only is it tedious, right? Not only is it can be appear to be disruptive and disrupt. Oh, you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah, disruptive. Yeah. But also we can see it that way, or we can see it as something that's actually really, really positive, because it's telling you where you are in your place at that particular time. You can actually most probably find correlations between where you are now and the time that you had that thought. The difference being is you have evolved. So you have more knowledge of self, you have more knowledge of the universe. So therefore, if you can actually sit down and think what the correlation is and what it actually really means to you on an emotional level, you can most probably get over it. You can most probably work through it. Get over it. You can most probably work through it.
See, were you done?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. If for me, if old fears keep rearing their head, especially when things start to get awesome, it's really important that you actually look at what you are most passionate about. Now, many people may not agree, but fear can be a passion of many people's. People can be very passionate about being fearful. So my thing to you, Self-Loving Foods, would be this. Do I cancel out the positive things that you truly desire? What you will get is what you truly desire. So what are you most passionate about? The things that you actually want, or the talk that's telling you that you might not be good enough, or you don't know what's going to happen, or you haven't got the money for this, or how you're going to pay your rent, or what are you most passionate about? The thing that's doing the talk, or the destiny, the thing that you really want? That which you are most passionate about is the thing that will manifest. And that's the other thing with the universal laws. The thing that you give fuel to with belief and passion is the thing that will be made manifest. What were you going to say, darling?
You said it. You okay. Actually just said it. It was about belief. Which one of the two do you believe?
Exactly.
And it's very. I think it's very important to counteract the one that you don't believe, counteract the one that you don't believe. You don't really, in all your heart and soul, believe in. If the one that you counteract is actually not going in the way that you actually, the direction you need to reframe. You want to go, then you have to reframe it.
You got to reframe it. You got to reframe, because evidently you do want something. You want something different because you've made this choice. So the wherewithal to do it is within you. It's about making the correct choices so that you can move forward, and move forward in a way. The one thing I would just say this: it's not always going to be a fearless journey, and it's not. It's not always going to be a fearless journey. What it will be is a journey where you make the choice to overcome or to move through your fear. That is the journey. It's not always going to be fearless. And the other thing that I wanted to say to J Mac is this, and that's to everybody. Last week we did a show on the universal law of space. Nothing can come in if there is not any space for it to come in. So, like for self-loving foods, if you are caught up with the old fears and the blocks and all of this stuff, what will happen is there's no room for what you want to come through to come through. For JMAC, if your total focus, as it was on somebody coming through who was educated, they came through. But what didn't come through was all the other stuff that you wanted, because your focus was all caught here. There's no room. In order for the laws of attraction, and laws, guys, I say plural, of attraction to work for you, it's really important that there is space for it to allow that manifestation to come back. It's really important. Who wanted to remain unnamed was this. I keep repeating my affirmations, and I look at my vision board sorry guys, I look at my vision board almost every day, and nothing is happening. What am I doing wrong? I repeat my affirmations and I look at my vision board almost every day, and nothing is happening. What am I doing wrong? Well, first and foremost, what I would say is that I wouldn't say that you're doing anything wrong. I'm going to phrase it that way. I wouldn't say that you're doing anything wrong. What I would say to you is that perhaps there are other things that you need to look at that are going on in your life. Now, I'm going to give an instance. I had a client who had for many years been talking about she wants a relationship. She wants a committed relationship. She wants somebody to be, that she wants them to live together and yada, yada, yada. Her entire life and her lifestyle wasn't indicative of that. It wasn't indicative. Even how she would respond to guys who was showing up in her life, it wasn't indicative of her wanting to, till death do we part, and, put your shoes under my bed and all this. It wasn't indicative of any of that. In actual fact, her how she was showing up, and I'm not saying she did this, but how she was showing up was, look, we can have a brief fling. It's really good. You go live in your house over there. If I want to call you, I'll call you. If I don't, I don't. And this is how she was showing up in her life. And therefore, these are the types of relationships that she was having, but she couldn't understand. There was no room for anything else to come in. There was no room, even in her home. She would park her car, and I know from The Secret, people may have heard this, but this is true. She would park her car in the center, dead center in her garage. Right? I'm serious. She'd park it dead center. Girlfriend, move over. She had somebody come and do feng shui, and she was all ticked off because they said to her in whatever corner of her room, she actually needs to do this, put some candles, do some energy. She was ticked off that she would have to make these changes. So, if you're not prepared to do the work, other than what you're doing, you're going to get what you're getting. So in regard to this question, which hopefully that wasn't too harsh, in regard to answering this question, I keep repeating my affirmations, and I look at my vision board sometimes and nothing is happening. I would say to you that it's really important that you look at other aspects of your life. Also, what you have on your vision board, is it really what you're wanting? Is it really you who's wanting this? This is another thing with people's vision boards. Are you wanting stuff, an iPhone, what do you call it? An iPhone 6 Plus, right? Is it on your vision board because you really, really want it? Or is it on your vision board because society and, you know, the ads that you see and the people that you're hanging out with, they all have one and you feel that you should have one too? You know, what is on your vision board? Perhaps you need to go back to basics and have a conversation with yourself. What am I wanting for myself in this moment? What am I wanting for myself in this moment? And start your vision board from there.
Because I think perhaps, I mean, I don't know, but looking at, as you said before, looking at your vision board, and maybe what's actually on your vision board is what you're actually living now.
Amen.
It may not be, you know, the house that you want, but, you know, it may not be exactly as you perceive it to be, but you actually might be living the life. If you look at it from a if you look at it from a different perspective, you might find that that's what you're living. You actually have what it is that you say you want. Okay,
on my vision board. All right, Livs, and I know I've said this, and I actually, in talking now, I actually need to take this off. On my vision, ding, 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 ding. It's been on there for about a year, but I need to take this off. I had wanted my kitchen to be redone. And in my process of getting all these photos and I got all this stuff, what happened was I didn't have one solid photo of what the kitchen looked like.
Okay.
They were all bits. And guess what happened? Don't you remember? I'm like, oh my God, they're putting in this. Oh my God, they're doing this. Yeah. Oh, the dust, they're doing that. Instead of just having everything done in one go, it was all done in piecemeal. It looks beautiful when it was finished. And I remember I looked at my vision board. I was sitting on my bed and I was looking at my vision board and I busted out laughing. I was like, oh, it manifested just like how I have it on the vision board. That's how it manifested. So it's really important that when you actually have your vision and you use something like a vision board, you have the complete vision of what it is that you're wanting. So you might need to go back to the vision board and redo it, reassess it, because in talking now, it just dawned on me, I really need to take that off. And once we finish here, I will actually go and take that off. I actually need to redo my vision board, which I try to do one once a year. I didn't do one last year as a result, and here we are. In regard to affirmations, your word is your bond. Your word is what is made manifest. Your word is made flesh. Your word is who you are. Your word dictates how you show up. Your word dictates what happens to you. Your word becomes your choice. Those 26 letters of the alphabet, or whatever alphabet you use, powerful stuff. They're your words. So if you are affirming, I would look at how you are affirming, the way in which you are affirming, and the words that you are using to affirm, in addition to looking at what it is that you are asking for. What would you say, Livs?
I think as far as affirmations go,
because that's your thing, doing affirmation boxes. Let me dig up the stuff. Now that you say that,
I say, what's going on after you do your affirmations? You know, so immediately after, what do you do? You know, are you starting to listen to the, you know, internal dialogue that's telling you want this, that, and the other? So that could actually also be causing a lot of confusion.
Okay. Anything else while I get stuff and put up?
Not that I can think of. I can't think. You kind of said it. Possibly. Well, it's really hard to say when you don't know what is on someone's vision board. But I think you kind of like said it. I think maybe going back to basics, because perhaps you actually have everything already. I think I said that already.
And then also too, sometimes like on my vision board, I actually quickly outgrew that because we had the kitchen done last year. It was last year, and I did my vision board. I think at the beginning of the year, and by May, all the piecemeal was done, and so it happened really
quickly. You were going to say? Oh, do you know why? Okay, I don't know what she was going to say. That's why it happened, because she just put up all the stuff on the side. I'm definitely not a presenter. I don't know what she was going to say. Gosh.
I was going to wind it.
It's when you put the stuff up, isn't it, on the side?
Yes. Yeah. And maybe I shouldn't put up as much as I put up. Okay. Because it's really pulling from my system. And actually, I've got a really kind of powerful internet, but it's really pulling from my system. So maybe I should just do a little bit at a time. It doesn't do that with mine, though.
You're on Dee's computer?
No. When I put my stuff up, it's right. When I put your stuff up. Maybe I need to type it out.
It's mostly because it's so much. Maybe, as you said, just condense it down. Mm-hmm. There's stuff that needs to be on there.
Mm-hmm. So. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But anyway, guys. Yeah, where was we? We was at, I keep repeating the affirmations. There was something that you said, because I was saying about my vision board, really doing that, and you started to say, because I said, oh yeah, she's affirmations, dawn affirmation boxes, and then it all went to smithereens.
I think I had, what did I say? I think I kind of repeated what you said. It's what she wanted. Is it what really? No, I didn't say that. But I mean, one of the things you had said, which I would reiterate, is it really what she wants? Is this something? And one of the things about having, like, especially a vision board, I'm not saying not to do it. I mean, I don't have one, and I don't have one for the specific reason that I think that, someone can come in and say, oh, yeah. And then they put their inputs, they'll say to you, okay, well, oh no, you can't do that. That's ridiculous, or whatever. Or they might say, oh, that's fantastic. But internally they're thinking, oh, no.
What load of rubbish.
Should never have that. So all that creates, a conflict, self-conflict, either internally within you or on kind of like, can do on, I say this sort of like tongue in cheek, on a on a universal level, because it can make you question your own, what it is that you actually believe is yours by divine right.
Exactly. And that's the biggest thing. Truly, with a vision board, it can definitely make you, it's like a seed that's been planted. That's one of the things that I go to. It's like a seed that has been planted. It's planted in the ground, and it's covered, and it's by itself, and it's doing its thing. It's germinating. And then when it busts through the earth, pow, hello world, here I am. It is by then universally strong enough to withstand anything that can come along. For the most part, it's made its decision. It's made its choice. It's resolute. And so for your affirmations, what I would say to you who wanted to remain unnamed is this: you need to look at affirmation, your actual affirmation. You need, excuse me, it's really important that you understand how powerful your words are. Really, really important that you understand how powerful your words are. And is the affirmation, here's another thing. When you actually affirm, it's really, really important that the affirmation is, I'll say, intrinsic to you, that it's in vibrational harmony with you, it's in sync with you, and it feels right to you. You see, because if you're affirming something that somebody's told you or you've read in a book and you haven't tailored it to who you are, then there's always that discord. There's that little ding that's there.
I think you have to love it with your heart and soul.
Yeah, you do.
You have to believe in it with your heart and soul.
Yeah, you do. You really do. It cannot be just empty words. It cannot be just empty words. And I do understand, and to a certain degree, I can get behind the philosophy. You know, if you affirm and you affirm long enough, you will believe it. And I do get that. That being said, it starts out better out the gate if you're affirming and you actually believe what you're affirming. It resonates with who you are to the core of your being.
But then if you're affirming and you actually don't really believe what you're saying, there's always the possibility that that's going to create internal conflict at some way down the line. When you get what it is, you may actually find conflict there.
Of course, exactly.
And you actually didn't believe you deserved it.
Of course, because that's one of the shows that we did. We spoke about, you know, conflict, the universal laws and conflict. And it won't give you what you want. It will give you what you need so you can have the contrast and parallel, so you can make a choice in the best interest of self. That's what conflict will do for you. So as you said rightly, Libs, you know, it will create conflict if you really don't believe what's going on, but you're trying to believe and you're going with the program and eventually something has to give. And it's the right of way that will give, the right way that will give.
And I think also the thing of silence, you know, a very indicative of if you're going to do a vision board, keeping it away from everyone so no one actually sees it. So it's actually your personal. It resonates just with you,
just to your frequency.
No one else, just with you. So no one else can put their taint on it or, you know, what they think about it. So it's just yours.
Very, very important. Very important. Silence, the universal law of silence. I think we did that 2 weeks ago or something.
A couple of weeks ago.
The universal law of silence. Well, guys, sorry for the huge interrupt. We're in beta and that's what happens. And I'm not presenter. She hung in there enough for me to get back. So I thank you for that, because I'm like, if she clicks out, I'm done. You know, I'm done. So that being said, guys, we'd like to thank you. I'd like to thank you. And Livs, just tell them who you are, where you're at.
I am Olivia Lashley, and I am in London, in the UK. You also can find her with the at the Little Box Boutique at Etsy. Of course, we have her Twitter feeds, etc. Facebook page, Instagram, and Pinterest. Oh, and Tumblr. Get you. Go ahead, girl. No, it's not something I use all the time. Actually, the Etsy one is better. Dawn Affirmations. I don't really use Little Box Boutique on Etsy, but Dawn Affirmations.
Okay, all right. And of course, the Facebook page. Yeah. And if you scroll to the top, you will definitely find me. I'm scared to put it in there now. You'll definitely find me at the Laws of Attraction in Action on Facebook. Same website. It's under construction. So you can go there and keep checking in and looking. Let's see. Will that pin? I don't know what I did. I just clicked something, so I don't know what I did. But you'll be able to find me there. And of course, join us. I'm getting ready to click this. You can join us on Blog Talk Radio. We're getting ready to do a show. And this week's show, what was this week's show all about?
I have no idea. Do I ever know? I have no idea.
I can't even remember what this week's show, but we're talking about the laws of attraction. And so this week's show is something about the laws of attraction. But no, we start our show at the top of the hour at 1. So I'm going to skedaddle from here. So Livs, I'm going to click you off, darling. I'm going to wrap it up and then I'll talk to you in a bit. All right.
Bye,
okay.
Guys.
Peace.
Bye.
Love you, sis. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, guys. That was good. I hope that you got your questions answered. And if not, you can always hit me up. Facebook, Laws of Attraction in Action, or you can email me at drwendy@itsmylifemychoice.com. Hey, you'll be able to get to me through any of my social medias, and I will get back to you. The laws of attraction are so important. We are the living law of attraction in our life. This is who we are. Our words create the laws by which we live. by your word, by your tongue, you will be justified, and by your tongue, you will be condemned. And what that means literally is this, that your word creates your reality. Whether good or bad, happy or sad, your words create this. So guys, that being said, I'd just like to thank you so much for tuning in. And again, I do apologize for the break. And I look forward to seeing you on the next Blab. And of course, if you want to join us today, please, please, please join us in about 45 minutes on Blog Talk Radio. The show's called My Life, My Choice. And I'm getting ready to enter that now. And until next time, guys, peace.